Okay, we're now on the record for Tuesday afternoon, September 14, 2021 criminal docket. I'll start with quick announcements. And Mr. Alvarez, you still there?
Here I am, Judge. Sorry.
There you go. Okay, what number, sir?
I don't have a number, Judge. I just have a name, Elizabeth Bocanegra Urestegui, CR 2100233I.
Okay, that she's number one on the court's docket. And just for the record, just her last name spelling, it's Uriostegui. Okay, and is she present?
She's present and she's a Spanish speaker.
Okay. Okay, sir. So she's here for an arraignment. Does she have an apparatus already?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Soto, do you have a report on her?
Yes, she does have a mobile device with Safeguard Solutions, Judge. The report ran from July 23rd of 2021 to August the 24th of 2021. She had 38 late tests and 57 skip tests.
Okay. Can you bring her, can she hear?
She's right here, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Castañeda, can you please let Ms. Uriostegui know that she has 38 late tests and 57 skip tests?
Ms. Uriostegui, tiene usted 38 pruebas tarde y 57 pruebas omitidas.
No, tarde sí, pero omitidas sí las he hecho.
Okay.
Yes, but not skipped. I've done them.
Okay, let her know not to talk unless her attorney gives her permission.
Ms. Uriostegui, no habla, solamente que su abogado le dé permiso.
Okay. Ms. Soto, is this her first admonishment?
Yes, Judge, it is.
Okay. Let her know that this is the one and only time I'm giving her a warning. The next time that she comes before me and she has these violations, I will consider revoking her bond.
And Judge, for the record, the state would request a bond revocation in this case. The defendant's not complying with the court orders.
Okay, I'm going to hold that over until the next hearing.
Okay, Ms. Uriostegui, esta es su primera y última advertencia. La próxima vez que venga enfrente de mí con violaciones, yo puedo revocar su fianza.
Does she understand that?
¿Entiende eso?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Alvarez, do you want me to arraign her? Or are you going to be submitting proof of the device and have her sign a waiver of arraignment?
We can arraign her, Judge.
Okay. So, ask her to raise her right hand.
Ms. Uriostegui, por favor, levanta su mano derecha.
Does she swear that the testimony that she's about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help her God?
Jura que el testimonio que está a punto de dar es la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad.
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, in the state of Texas versus Elizabeth Bocanegra Uriostegui, CR 2100233-I, is that your true and correct name?
Elizabeth Bocanegra Uriostegui, ese es su nombre correcto y verdadero.
Uriostegui, sí.
Uriostegui, yes.
Okay, you're before the court charged with driving while intoxicated with a blood alcohol level of greater than 0.15, which is a Class A misdemeanor.
Está usted enfrente de esta corte con un cargo de manejar en estado de ebriedad con una concentración de alcohol mayor de 0.15, que es un cargo, una ofensa menor clase A.
Sí.
And her range of punishment for a Class A misdemeanor, it carries a potential penalty of up to 1 year in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine upon conviction.
Una ofensa menor clase A tiene una multa potencial de hasta 1 año en la cárcel del condado de Hidalgo y una multa de hasta $4,000 por convicción.
Does she understand the range of punishment?
¿Entiende usted el rango de castigo?
Sí.
Has any court ever declared her to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
¿Alguna corte la ha declarado mentalmente incompetente, loca o demente?
No.
No.
Okay, counselor, in speaking with your client, do you find her to be mentally competent and able to assist you in her own defense?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, then at this time, the court will make a finding that she is competent and able to assist you in her own defense and enters a plea of not guilty. Okay, how much time do you need, Mr. Alvarez?
Judge, I believe her to be PTD eligible as soon as that's confirmed by the DA's office. I think we can make an announcement to the court that we're going to go that route in 30
Okay.
days.
Okay, Ms. Guadagna, do you show that she's PTD eligible?
Yes, Judge, she is.
Okay, so you're gonna be applying for PTD?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, then I'll go ahead. I'm gonna have to see her back here on October the 19th at 9:30 for a status, just to check on her to see if she has any more alcohol violations.
Very good, Your Honor. That's all we have. May we be excused?
You certainly may.
Thank you.
Okay, Attorney Jorge Ortegon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. How you doing, ma'am?
Good afternoon, sir.
Judge, I'm here with my client. He's in the orange shirt, Luis Antonio Palomo. He's there waving. He's muted right now, Judge, but I know he'll unmute. This is a status. We were here last time. This honorable court had ordered the device. My client has now gotten the device, Judge. We have worked out a deal with the assault case. And I did forget to say, Judge, that I believe this is 34 and 35 on the court's docket. I apologize for that, Your Honor.
Okay, and that's on CR 1906840-I, CR 1814378-I. Okay, so then you've already accepted the plea offer then on the assault?
As per the assault and the felony that is to be actually busted down, this case is the assault's to get dismissed, Judge. The felony is to be busted down to a misdemeanor, if that makes sense. But it looks like I'm still in the negotiation process with the state. I know we're going to be close. We just, I'm actually emailing with them right now, Your Honor. But this honorable court did want for my client to have the device for 30 days before this court was going to take a plea. So we're technically here for a status, Your Honor. We're hoping that we can start working on getting this set for a plea now that he has obtained that device, and that obviously, we're able to come to an agreement with the state and dispose of this matter, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Soto, are you showing that Mr. Palamo has obtained that device?
Your Honor, he obtained the mobile device with safety check on September the 2nd, 2021, and from that date till now, no violations, Judge.
Okay. All right, just keep it up, Mr. Palomo. We're gonna go ahead and see you. Do you want your next setting to be a plea setting?
That is the case, Your Honor. We would like a plea setting. Like I said, I am still negotiating the DWI with the state, with whether or not they're gonna request a mobile or the interlock device, as well as some of the time on probation. I don't know if we're unable to come to an agreement if this court would be willing to staff this case with us. But I do think a plea date in the next 2 weeks should suffice, Judge. Maybe in 2 weeks.
If he's on a mobile device, he'll stay on the mobile device. Because if that's one thing that you're thinking of, but I don't mind stopping it. What I can do is I can give you October 5th at 1:30.
We can set it for plea, Judge, and then I'll get with the state and we'll coordinate with this honorable court on when we can staff these issues, Your Honor.
Okay, October 5th at 1:30 for both those cases.
May my client and I be excused at this time?
You certainly may.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Attorney Mauricio Martinez?
Good afternoon, Judge. I've got 17 on your docket, as well as, I apologize, it's 17, 18, and 12. He's got a different name on two cases, so it falls out of order on the docket.
Okay, let me see. So he's not Jimenez, he's Santa Cruz?
His correct name is Jimenez, but one of the failed to ID names he gave is Santa Cruz, and somehow the sheriff's office actually logged it as a real name as opposed to a failed to ID name.
Okay. All right, so then on CR 21081997-I, CR 210563-I, and CR 210570-I, State of Texas versus Jose Jimenez, also known as Jose Santa Cruz. Is Mr. Jimenez present?
The last time I made contact with him, he was in custody, which was about a month ago. I don't know if he's bonded out.
Okay. I don't know. Deputy, do you have a Jose Jimenez in your custody?
No, Your Honor, I don't.
Okay. Does
Judge,
does the state show or my staff show that Mr. Jimenez is out on bond?
Yes, Judge, he was released on August the 27th.
So I guess it was just about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Judge, I've been working on the felony on this case. We've actually reached an agreement for a probation on the felony case with dismissal of all the misdemeanors except for number 12, which is 2108197I. But I guess I need to find him before we do that.
Okay, so he doesn't have notice of today's hearing then?
I don't believe so. No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. How much time are you requesting to contact your client?
Judge, just out of an abundance of caution, can we do 2 weeks as opposed to the normal 30 days?
Okay, so then do you want me to keep him on the plea docket or you want me to change him to status?
I think this would be status, Judge, seeing as how the plea would be on the felony once he does get found. But
Okay.
Judge, actually, my docket setting for the felony case is not until October 4th. I don't know
Okay.
if I want to do something.
Then he'll come back on October the 19th at 9:30 on these three cases.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, anything else?
That's all I've got on your docket, Judge. I'm one of the St. Mary's grads, though, so it's going to be fantastic.
Write his name down, Carlos, and hold him to it.
I've just got my info.
Okay, thank you, Mauricio.
Thanks, Judge.
Okay, Attorney Leonard Whitaker.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I have a stranger one than normal. My client is not present. He is actually, he's in Monterrey. He's in quarantine. His family has gone through a season of COVID. First his parents, now his children. At this moment, he's taking his oldest son to get oxygen therapy. According to what he informed Judge Lopez this morning in the 389th hearing, he will not be out of quarantine until sometime next week. At that point, I'll make arrangements with him. I'll fill out the plea paperwork with him, probably in Matamoros or in Reynosa. Of course, that's if he doesn't get COVID in the meantime when he's in a house full of COVID infected people.
Okay, so do you want me to reset the plea then to October 5th?
Yes, Judge, and I already have a plea packet here. We're ready to roll, except for meeting my client at some border town on the Mexican side to fill it out, Judge.
Okay.
And by the way, I informed counsel of this by email this morning, late this morning.
I'll go ahead, we'll go ahead and reset it to October 5th at 1:30.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good day, ma'am. And I will notify, I'll notify the court if we're ready for the plea, Judge.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good
Thank
day.
you. Attorney Victoria Guerra,
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
good afternoon.
I have Crescencio Luis Ruiz, Judge. He's in blue. If you could unmute Mr. Ruiz, please. Unmute so you can say hi to the judge.
Okay, what number is he on the court's docket?
Sorry, I didn't check. I'm negligible.
Hello, Judge.
Number 37, Your Honor.
Okay,
Judge, this is, obviously, he's not in jail. I am really focusing right now on jail cases because the courts are really pushing them to get them out. So I have not really had time to address it. I did get an offer from the state for an 8-month deferred.
okay, go ahead.
But we would like to pursue possibly pretrial diversion. I believe Ms. Garena indicated that he is PTD eligible. So right now I'm just sort of in the process of figuring out the options and conveying them to him and also going over discovery. So we need another reset of about maybe 6 weeks if possible.
Okay, Ms. Wadena, do you show that he is PTD eligible?
Yes, Judge, that's correct. He is PTD eligible.
Okay,
It's a simple possession of marijuana case. Usually the state's pretty flexible about these kinds of cases.
okay, so do you want, so then will you be, you don't know yet if you'll be applying then?
I'm going to speak to my client this week and then we will pursue that. But it's going to take a while. Again, I've been real busy with deadlines and I've got some jail cases this week that need to get plat out. So I'm on my way over there in a few minutes.
Okay, then I'm gonna change them to a status hearing for November the 16th at 9:30.
Very well, Your Honor. Thank you. May my client be excused? I have one other case on your docket.
Yes, he may be excused.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Ruiz. You can leave now.
Okay,
Thank
what
you.
other case do you have?
I don't know what number it is on your docket. I just found out today that I was appointed to Jose Iracheta. Ron Lozano was the attorney on the case. Apparently he was removed from it. I'm not sure why, but I did speak to him a little bit today about some possible mental health issues with my new client. Since I found out just today, Judge, I've not had time to communicate with him. I did already reach out, no answer on his phone. I'm also in the process of communicating with Mr. Lozano about getting contact information for family. I think the family is key here in communicating with client. My secretary is, excuse me, preparing competency evaluation requests that will be filed with the court on the 2 cases that I was appointed on. So
Okay, that's on CR 21-0688-I and CR 21-0688-2-I. Okay, so you haven't had an opportunity yet then to visit with your client then?
No, Judge, and I don't think he's here today. I've not seen him on your Zoom docket, unless that's him on the phone. I don't know, but
no, I think that's a plea that we have.
Okay,
I think
so
that may be Miss Crab.
Given that I just found out today about this appointment, I am going to need time to communicate with him. And then once the motions are filed, I don't know if we need to have a hearing on them or the court can just order, if the court can just order the competency evaluations now and let me do the paperwork to get it through.
Okay,
Judge, if I may,
go ahead.
there is a 3rd case as well that was just filed. There is no appointed attorney on it. I can give you the CR number.
Please.
CR 21-10134-I. It is also a possession of marijuana charge.
Okay, my staff, we need to make sure that Ms. Guerra is appointed on that new case, CR 21-10134-I. We'll go ahead and get that to you, Ms. Guerra, so that you can also have an opportunity to review that case. So it'll be 3 cases in total. And I'll give you some time to do that, since those are not cases where I need to be monitoring your client at this time. I can give you the same date as the last one, which is November 16th.
Very well.
Your Honor.
Yes.
If Ms. Guerra can, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Judge, but if Ms. Guerra can file a waiver on the new case?
I will do that, Judge.
Okay, well, hopefully you can find your client.
That's just it, is that according to Mr. Lozano, there's some maybe psychotic issues here that are paranoia. I do have some experience with that, but for safety of everybody involved, I had a co-counsel just to make sure that everything was witnessed in conversations with the client. Until I have initial communication with him, I'll hold off on requesting that and communicate with him and his family as soon as I can, Judge.
Okay, that's fine. Then we'll go ahead and have all of those 3 cases set for November 16th at 9:30.
Very well. Thank you very much, Your Honor. I hope you have a wonderful and safe afternoon. May I be excused?
You certainly may. Thank you. Likewise. Okay, Attorney Arturo Cantu.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I have Elias Aceves, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 7.
Yes, and Mr. Puente is also here on that case. Mr. Puente, are you available? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we did receive the paperwork from Mr. Puente on the plea that Mr. Aceves was going to enter into. However, it was not received in time to have it accepted and approved. So we are going to have to reset his plea date for Thursday. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now those are Mr. Puente's cases. So Mr. Puente on CR 21-00055-I, CR 20-08884-I, CR 20-08885-I. Those will be moved to September 16th at 1:30, at which time that'll give us enough time to accept the plea paperwork and approve it so that we can get Mr. Aceves on the record with that. Now, on Mr. Cantu's cases, we were noticing Mr. Cantu, Mr. Aceves on his evading arrest detention and on his resisting arrest, search, or transport. He hasn't been arraigned yet. Do you show a waiver of arraignment for him or?
No, Your Honor.
No? Okay. So I do need to arraign him on those two cases. And also, are you still requesting a jury trial on the cases that you are representing him on?
Yes, and requesting a PR bonds on them, Your Honor, on the cases number 4 on your docket that ends with 527. I calculate about 104 days in jail on that case. And the 2 new ones that you need to arraign him on, I calculate about 59 days in jail. Those are the 3 cases that he's in jail now, aside from the ones Mr. Puente has, but they'll be taken care of on Thursday.
Okay.
So we're asking for PR bonds on those cases, Your Honor.
Okay. The thing, on the PR bond, he's asking on the PR bond for the assault causing bodily injury and a family member, I cannot statutorily now grant him a PR bond because that is a violent offense. So I can't do that. And on the terroristic threat of family household.
That one, he's got a
He already has a PR bond.
He's got a PR bond on that one, Your Honor. Yeah, we're not asking, that one's fine.
Okay, so he already has a PR bond on that one.
Yeah.
And he has on his evading arrest detention, he has a cash surety on that of $2,000. And on the resisting arrest, search or transport, he has a $2,000 cash surety. So
Yes,
those,
Your Honor.
are those the 2 that you're asking for consideration of a PR
And,
bond?
Yes, Your Honor. And I guess if you could lower the assault on a family member, he's got a $2,500 cash or surety bond on that one. That's number 4 on your docket.
Okay.
That's the one where he has over 100 days credit.
Okay, on CR 21-05527-I for assault causing bodily injury of family member, a Class A misdemeanor. The current bond is a cash surety bond of $2,500. The defense has requested a bond reduction. And does the state have an announcement on that?
Judge, we have been in contact with the victim in this case. It is the defendant's cousin. He did express some concerns to us, Judge. The state would be willing to lower it to a $2,000 cash surety due to the amount of the defendant's cases, the amount of assault cases, and with the condition that he have no harmful contact with the victim.
Okay. That'll be granted. So I'll reduce it to a $2,000 cash surety, no harmful contact with the alleged victim, whose name is what, Ms. Varela?
Juan Garcia.
Okay, no harmful contact with Juan Garcia. And on CR 21-07947-I and CR 21-07946-I, defense counsel is requesting a PR bond be set on each of those. What does the state say on that?
Judge, now at this time, the state is opposed to a PR bond. The defendant is released on bond. He continues to pick up more charges. I believe this defendant, I understand that, defense counsel has cases that he wishes to contest, and that's within their right. But this defendant, he needs to be either monitored or he needs to be serving jail time. And at this time, it's the state's opinion that we're not inclined to grant a PR bond on those cases.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hold that over. At this time, I'm going to deny the PR bond. However, I will reconsider it on Thursday when we come back on the pleas, Mr. Cantu. We'll be back on the 3 cases on CR 21-00055-I, CR 20-08884-I and CR 20-08885-I. We'll come back on those on September 16th at 1:30. I will reconsider the PR bonds because I want to explore something at that time so we can monitor him. So I'll reconsider it at that time, sir.
All right, that's fine, Your Honor. So I'll get a link then, right? Because that's,
Yes, you will get a link.
okay.
And Judge, if I may, on number 2 on the docket, this is another case with Mr. Puente. He's not being held on this case, but will they also be doing a plea, or will this one also be left pending for trial? Just for clarification.
Mr. Puente, on the criminal mischief, on the CR 1816296-I, is that included in your plea paperwork? Oh, we lost him, hold on.
I know at the last hearing, he announced for trial on that one. Okay, there he is.
Mr. Puente, on the CR 1816296-I, are you announcing wanting a trial setting on that one? Or are you also including that in your plea paperwork?
At this time, we ask for a trial date, Your Honor. We talked to my client and see if, because our concern was that it would form the basis of a revocation in the felony court, and I haven't yet gotten a word from the felony prosecutor whether it would have any effect on the motion to revoke.
Okay, so then what we'll do is I don't know if you were still logged on at the time or we had lost you at that point, but I'll reconsider the PR bond request on Mr. Cantu's other 2 cases that he represents him on. And I'm resetting all the cases for September 16th at 1:30, at which time we'll take the plea on the ones that are ready. And then we'll discuss the criminal mischief one, because that has a PR bond. So we'll see where we're at with all of his bonds on Thursday, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because he may only have the bond pending on the assault, which was just reduced to 2,000.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll talk about it on Thursday.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, y'all may be excused. Mr. Aceves may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. So then with the remaining attorneys that I have, Mr. Jaime Morales.
Oh, Your Honor, one moment.
Okay, that's CR 1911251-I, State of Texas versus Laura Gutierrez. Is Ms. Gutierrez present?
Yes, she is. I would ask her to turn on the camera. I see her name and I saw her on video. I just believe she turned off her camera.
Yeah, Ms. Gutierrez, I need for you to unmute yourself and turn your camera on, ma'am. Is she Spanish speaking?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Castañeda, ask her to please turn on her camera and to unmute herself.
Ms. Gutiérrez, por favor, prende su cámara y le oprima el micrófono. Ms. Gutiérrez.
¿Ahí me escuchan?
Ok, por favor, prenda su cámara.
Sí, ¿aquí me escuchan?
Sí, por favor, prende su cámara.
Está prendida mi cámara.
It's on.
No la
Está
veo.
prendida mi cámara, yo los estoy viendo.
Okay.
Sí, pero no podemos mirarte a usted.
Okay, okay, I see her now. All right, Mr. Morales, I understand that you're ready on a plea today. However, it's come to the court's attention that your client has stopped using her alcohol monitoring device since May.
Correct, Your Honor. I believe she had been placed on it out of a probation case that she had out of the 92nd. She was informed at that time that she no longer needed it. However, there was some miscommunication. She has already talked to the provider or one of the service providers. So as soon as we're done, she's going to have it reactivated today, Your Honor.
Okay. I need a report from her for at least 30 days before I'll accept a plea on her behalf. So I need her to be on that alcohol monitoring device for at least 30 days before I'll accept the plea. So she needs to get that mobile monitoring device within 48 hours of today's date. And then I'm gonna reset your plea for 30 days. And I need a report on her between now and then.
Okay. Well,
She can't just stop using the device because she,
Your Honor, I guess there was some confusion, Your Honor, because she had been ordered originally out of the 92nd District Court by Judge Singletary. So she was actually informed by her probation officer, since her probation by Judge Singletary had terminated, that she no longer needed to have the device. That's why she removed it, Your Honor.
okay, but she was was she given an order of termination?
That probation already terminated.
Okay, but so when she was ordered the device, somebody needs to clarify this for me. I have that she stopped using her device on May the 12th. Who ordered that device for her? The one that she stopped using on May the 12th. Who ordered it?
Judge, I'm showing that it's from CC7. There's an order for bond condition for the mobile alcohol monitoring device. It was ordered on October the 7th of 2019. I am not seeing an order of removal.
Okay.
And Your Honor, I think the confusion is she had the same probation officer in two cases. She was originally on probation out of the 92nd District Court, Your Honor. So even before the order out of Court 7 had been issued, she had been ordered by the 92nd to have a mobile operating device going back somewhere close to 3 years already. So she did have the device. However, when her probation ended out of the 92nd, her probation officer may have been incorrect in telling her she could remove the device, but that's why she removed the device when her probation out of the 92nd terminated.
Okay, but then she removed the device on May the 12th, or she just stopped using it because wasn't it a mobile device?
Correct.
Okay, so she stopped using it on May 12th, and she's saying because the probation officer told her that it was already terminated.
Correct, and I believe the probation officer was going off of the order out of the 92nd because it was a condition of probation for the remainder of her term. And I believe it was for 6 months or 10 months. I think the last time, but again, she's had it on for close to 3 years already.
Yes, but this is a DWI second that was picked up after the statute went into effect. So she has to have an alcohol monitoring device by law. So now I want to know, when is is this the first time that she's appeared before me?
I don't believe
right?
so, Your Honor. No.
Okay. When was the last time that she appeared before me?
Looks like it was August the 19th, Judge, of this year. That was the first status since the transfer from CC7.
Okay. Now, what do the notes say about, because if I drop the ball, I drop the ball. But I tried to really scrutinize the DWI seconds. At that time, we didn't break down whether or not she had a device or ordered her to reinstate her device, or what notes do you all show? Because somebody should have picked it up if I missed it.
Judge, can you give me a second? That way I can locate my docket quickly.
And I can't remember the specifics, Your Honor. I can just tell you that since we worked out a plea agreement, I informed her that she was going to have to reinstall the device. And she was working at the time up near Lubbock. And we contacted her provider. So we were going to actually mail the device to her over there so she can have it reactivated. She's actually here at this time. So she actually met with the provider. So she still has the machine. So it's simply a matter of reactivating it, which she was going to do today.
Okay, I found my docket for the 19th. Just so y'all know, I keep my dockets and my notes. So Was she on the morning or the afternoon?
The morning, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, and I have the notation that she had the mobile device with Safeguard Solutions, and I believe that at that time, we were gonna get a report. She had just announced to us who she had the mobile device with, so this was gonna be a plea slash status regarding her device.
Okay. Hold on. Do you have the number on the court's docket?
Number 42, Your Honor, on the 19th docket.
Okay. Okay, here we go. I have, yes, so she had an interlock device for nearly 3 years. Then she went to Safeguard Solutions for a mobile device. And that no report had been, I don't think Connie was able to get a report at that time because it wasn't showing who she had it with. Then when she did tell us, so the device that she stopped using on May the 12th, did it show Ms. Soto whether it was the mobile device or the interlock device?
It's the mobile device, Judge.
Okay, so she stopped using the mobile device on May the 12th, which was the one with Safeguard.
Correct.
Okay, so then at the time, it wasn't showing anything yet for you because it was the first status.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Okay, now we know where we're at with that. Okay. So then nobody dropped the ball on there. There we go. Okay, so then now that we know that she has, so now she is back in town to get the mobile device reinstated.
Yes, Your Honor, and I've actually spoken to the provider as well as Ms. Gutierrez. They actually called me because he wanted to know who was ordering it. I told him it was going to be a condition of probation out of this court, Your Honor. And I think I provided him with a cause number as well.
Okay, fine. I'll go ahead and let it proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. So everybody else that's on here, oh, Mr. Hold on. Who's stepping in for Daniel Gonzalez today? Is anybody?
Judge, I am Judge Alejandro.
Okay, okay. And you're doing yours from this morning too with Mr. Blanco, right?
Judges.
That was Mr. Moreno, Judge.
Oh, that was Mr. Moreno. Okay. Oh, there we go. Is that a new associate with Mr. Moreno?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, introduce him to us, Rudy.
Judge, this is Victor Jaramillo. He's a St. Mary's grad also. And I guess he couldn't find a job anywhere else, so he's here.
So, Mr. Jaramillo, welcome aboard.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is this your first plea today?
It's my second plea today.
There you go. I guarantee this plea process will be better than the others. Ooh, shots fired. Okay, hold on. All right, let's just make, I was looking, oh, Mr. Gonzalez, on Brandon Mendoza,
Yes, Judge.
PR 21-01114-I.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Martinez hasn't checked in yet.
Okay.
So what are we doing on that case after all?
I think the guy's supposed to plead on Ms. Martinez's case, and mine's supposed to be dismissed, Your Honor.
Okay. And has she given you a status of how she's doing with the plea in absentia?
I have no idea, Your Honor, to be honest.
Okay, well, you've already checked in, so the plea's not ready. So it's not, you don't have to stay logged on. And if Ms. Martinez comes in, I'll go ahead and see where she's at with that status, but it's up to you if you want to stay logged on or not.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, you have a good
afternoon, Judge. It's good.
Okay, you too. Okay, so the ones that I have ready, we're moving on to the pleas. It's Maria Victoria Betancourt. Ms. Betancourt, are you present? Maria?
Yes.
Okay, do you understand English?
No.
Okay, so Ms. Castaneda, ask her if she's going to be doing her plea in Spanish.
Yes.
Ask her anyway.
Ms. Bentacor, ¿va a estar usted haciendo su petición en español?
Sí.
Yes.
Let her know that although she may understand English, she has asked for this to be done in Spanish, so she has to wait until you translate to answer.
Ms. Bentacor, aunque usted entiende inglés, usted ha pedido que esta petición se traduzca en español, so tiene que esperar hasta que yo le traduzca.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Miss Deanna Kraft, are you on the line? Deanna Kraft? Are you on the line? Mr. Gonzalez, she had called in earlier and said she would be calling in, but I don't have confirmation that that's her.
Okay, I know I just spoke to my secretary about 10 minutes ago, Your Honor, and she did confirm with Ms. Kraft that she was logged on one way or another.
Hello?
Okay, Ms.
Hello,
Kraft.
Richard?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear us, Ms. Kraft?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
That's okay. I need you to stay just like you are right now, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Christian Gonzalez, Mr. Munoz, is that your plea today or Mr. Chugani's?
Judge, it's my plea, Judge.
Okay. Dylan Edward Guerra, Mr. Guerra, are you present?
He's present, Judge.
That's correct, right here.
Okay. And Ms. Gutierrez is on. I don't know if she can. There. Ms. Castaneda, can you ask Ms. Gutierrez if she can hear us?
Ms. Gutierrez, ¿nos escucha?
Sí, aquí estoy.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, tell her to stay exactly where she's at because she has good reception there and she needs to stay unmuted.
Manténgase donde está ahorita porque ahí tiene recepción. Necesita quedarse con la bocina prendida.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, is there anybody that's here oh, and then I have Diego Alberto Blanco. Diego Alberto Blanco.
The room.
Okay, Mr. Blanco, unmute yourself. Okay. Before we proceed, Deputy. Who do you have in custody right now, sir?
Yes, I have two, Martin Valderas and Ramiro Ramirez.
Okay, Ms. Rivera, Mr. Banderas, was there a date that was given to Ms. Canales?
No, Your Honor, and I do see there's no future date. He's set for arraignment, Your Honor. He has no felonies or holds.
Okay. We don't have his attorney on. We'll have somebody call them and see if they're going to be making an appearance. The same thing with Mr. Mendoza. His attorney has not checked in yet, so if you can be on standby if possible.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna say this in English and then we're gonna have to translate it for those that are in Spanish, okay? So we're going to start the pleas. I need for you to listen very carefully. Hold on. Just when I say that, Mr. Alvarez pops on. Deputy, can you please bring Mr. Martin Banderas to the screen?
Yes, Your Honor, he's coming.
Okay, his attorney just got on.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Contreras, who are you here on? Está bien, un momento. Mr. Contreras, who are you here on? Jesse Contreras, who are you here on? What case?
Yep, yes, let me do that. Oh, thanks, Mr. Walker.
Don't worry, man.
Thank you. Judge, good afternoon. Hello?
Yes, what case are you here on?
Your Honor, I'm here on Luis, where are you, Luis?
Okay, Mr. Palomo, I have Mr. Jorge Ortegon that is representing him on both cases.
Yeah, I know, they keep on, and I know last time we said the same thing, Your Honor, and I
Yeah.
apologize. I'll let my staff know that it's not us, it's somebody
Yes,
else.
maybe Mr. Ortegon may need to file his notice of appearance on that assault.
No problem then.
Okay,
And I apologize again on this, because
That's
he had already
okay.
told me last time. All right, may I be
Okay.
excused, Your Honor?
you certainly may.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Alvarez. Okay, Mr. Alvarez, are you ready for your arraignment on Mr. Valderas?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Valderas is also Spanish speaking, Ms. Castañeda, okay? So
Yes, ma'am.
please make sure that you are unmuted and you are in a location that is nice and quiet, okay? I'm going to ask you a series of questions and I need for you to pay attention. Ms. Castañeda?
Okay. Necesito que pongan atención. Les voy a preguntar una serie de preguntas.
And we're going to have to give Ms. Castañeda an opportunity to translate for our Spanish-speaking defendants.
Y necesitan darme una oportunidad para hacer la traslación.
I will explain the process as we go through it, so I ask for your patience.
Voy a explicar el proceso como vamos por paso, así que tengan paciencia.
Okay. For those that are doing the pleas and arraignments, please raise your right hand.
Para los que están haciendo arraignments y peticiones, por favor, levanten su mano derecha.
Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Juran que el testimonio que están a punto de dar es la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad.
Mr. Martín Valderas, yes or no?
Sí.
Martín,
Por favor, deje que traduzca primero, entonces usted puede contestar. Go ahead.
Martín Valderas, ¿sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
María Victoria Bettencourt.
María Victoria Bettencourt, ¿sí o no?
Yes.
Miss Bettencourt, if you're at, si usted quiere que traduzca en este proceso, usted necesita que también contestar en español. Si no, lo voy a hacer en inglés y usted va a tener que contestar en inglés. ¿Me entiende?
Está bien, gracias.
Okay. Deanna Gilcraft, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Christian Gonzalez.
Yes, ma'am.
Dylan Edward Guerra.
Correct, ma'am.
Okay. Laura Gutierrez, yes or no? Ms. Castañeda?
Laura Gutiérrez, ¿sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. You all may lower your hands.
¿Pueden bajar su mano?
NCR 21-10, I'm sorry. Diego Alberto Blanco, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. And counselors, if by some chance I forget your client, because I'm trying to go by the list that I have, please just say, excuse me, judge, and jump in, because if not, I'm gonna have to do it all over again, okay? So in CR 21-10402-I and CR 21-10403-I, the state of Texas versus Martín Valderas, is that your true and correct name?
Martín Valderas, ¿ese es su nombre correcto y verdadero?
Sí.
Yes.
In CR 20-06773-I, the state of Texas versus Diego Alberto Blanco, is that your true and correct name?
Yes.
CR 20-01934-I, the state of Texas versus Maria Victoria Bettencourt, is that your true and correct name?
María Victoria Bettencourt, ¿ese es su nombre correcto y verdadero?
Sí.
Yes.
CR 21-02083-I, the state of Texas versus Deanna Gilcraft, is that your true and correct name?
Yes, ma'am.
In CR 21-00922-I, the state of Texas versus Christian Gonzalez, is that your true and correct name?
Yes, Judge.
NCR 20-03635-I, the state of Texas versus Dylan Edward Guerra. Is that your true and correct name?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
And that's also true for CR 21-05667-I, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
NCR 1911251-I, the state of Texas versus Laura Gutierrez. Is that your true and correct name?
Laura Gutiérrez, ¿ese es su nombre correcto y verdadero?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Valderas, you are before the court charged with assault causing bodily injury, a Class A misdemeanor, and harassment, a Class B misdemeanor.
Mr. Valderas, está usted frente a la corte con un cargo de asalto de cuerpo y un de harassment, que es un acoso, que es una clase B, y el asalto es un clase A.
Miss Maria Victoria Betancourt, you are charged with theft of property of greater than $750, but less than $2,500, a Class A misdemeanor.
Ms. Betancourt, está usted frente a esta corte por un robo de propiedad de mayor de 750 y menor de 2,500, un delito menor clase A.
Miss Deanna Gail Craft, you are charged with driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Mr. Christian Gonzalez, you are before the court charged with driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Mr. Dylan Edward Guerra, you are before the court charged with driving while intoxicated with a blood alcohol level of greater than 0.15, a Class A misdemeanor, and with a driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Ms. Laura Gutierrez, you are charged with driving while intoxicated, second, a Class A misdemeanor.
Ms. Gutiérrez, está usted con un cargo de manejar en estado de ebriedad segundo, que es un delito menor clase A.
Mr. Diego Alberto Blanco, you are before the court charged with driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Please listen carefully. Ms. Castañeda, can you translate that?
Por favor, escuchen.
This is called range of punishment.
Esto se llama el rango de castigo.
For defendants with a Class B misdemeanor, a Class B misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 6 months in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction.
Para los defendientes con una ofensa menor clase B, la ofensa menor clase B tiene una multa potencial de hasta 6 meses en la cárcel del condado de Hidalgo y una multa de hasta $2,000 por convicción.
For those defendants with a Class A misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 1 year in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine upon conviction.
Para los defendientes que tienen una ofensa menor clase A, una ofensa menor clase A tiene una multa potencial de hasta 1 año en la cárcel del condado de Hidalgo y una multa de hasta $4,000 por convicción.
Do each of you understand the range of punishment that you can receive for the offense of which you are charged? You will answer yes or no to this question. Mr. Martín Valderas.
Cada uno de ustedes entiende el rango de castigo que pueden recibir por los delitos en que están acusados. ¿Van a contestar sí o no? Mr. Valderas.
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Betancourt.
Ms. Betancourt, sí o no?
Ms. Betancourt.
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Blanco. Mr. Blanco. Yes or no? Did you understand your range of punishment?
Yes.
Ms. Kraft.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Gonzalez.
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Guerra.
Yes, Your Honor.
Laura Gutierrez.
Laura Gutiérrez, sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Now for those of you that are entering a plea today, You have the right to an attorney and the right to a trial by jury. You can waive one or both of those rights by signing a written document with this court. At this time, I will ask each of you, did you have an opportunity to review the document with your attorney before signing it? Ms. Betancourt, Ms. Castañeda?
Ok, todos ustedes tienen el derecho de un abogado y el derecho para un juicio por jurado, pero pueden renunciar a uno o a los dos de sus derechos firmando un documento con esta corte. Cada uno de ustedes entiende que cuando firman ese documento están renunciando a sus derechos de un juicio por jurado. ¿Tuvieron ustedes una oportunidad de revisar esos documentos con su abogado?
Ms. Betancourt, ¿sí o no?
Sí, I'm sorry, sí.
Yes, I'm sorry, yes.
Ms. Gutierrez, Laura Gutierrez, yes or no?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Kraft, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Gonzalez, yes or no?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Guerra, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Blanco, yes or no?
Yes.
Did each of you further understand that when you signed that document, you were waiving your right to a trial by jury? Ms. Castañeda, can you please ask Ms. Betancourt?
Ms. Betancourt, ¿usted entendió que cuando firmó ese documento está renunciando a su derecho de un juicio por jurado?
Sí.
Yes.
Laura Gutierrez.
Ms. Gutierrez.
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. And for the rest, Mr. Blanco, did you understand when you signed that document, you're waiving your right to a trial by jury, yes or no, sir?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Kraft. Ms. Kraft? Yes or no, Ms. Kraft? Mr. Gonzalez, I don't know if we lost contact with your client or not.
Okay, let me,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. I dropped my phone.
You need to stay on, ma'am, or we're going to skip you.
No, don't skip me. Yes, ma'am, I agree.
Do you understand when you signed that document, you're waiving your right to a trial by jury, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez.
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Guerra. Dylan Edward Guerra, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And Mr. Blanco, I'm not sure if I asked you, but out of abundance of caution, I'll ask you again. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. The court will accept your waivers of trial by jury. Now, has any court ever declared any of you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane? Ms. Castañeda, please ask Mr. Valderas.
Mr. Valderas, ¿alguna vez alguna corte lo ha declarado incompetente, loco o demente?
No.
No.
Ms. Betancourt?
Ms. Betancourt, ¿alguna corte lo ha declarado mentalmente incompetente, loco o demente?
No.
No. Es
Ms. Betancourt.
Ms. Betancourt?
No.
Okay.
No.
Ms. Laura Gutierrez, yes or no?
Ms. Gutierrez,
No.
¿sí o no?
No.
Okay, has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane? Mr. Blanco?
No.
Ms. Kraft?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Gonzalez?
No, Judge.
Mr. Guerra?
No, Your
Okay. And counselors, in speaking with your clients, do you find them to be mentally competent and able to assist you in their own defense? Mr. Alvarez?
Mr. Valderas is competent, Your Honor.
Mr. Jaramillo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Ramos?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Guerra is competent.
Mr. Munoz?
Yes, Judge. Ms. Betancourt and Mr. Gonzalez are competent, Judge.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Ms. Kraft is competent, Your Honor.
Mr. Morales.
Ms. Gutierrez is competent, Your Honor.
Okay. With respect to Mr. Valderas, so with respect to Mr. Valderas, the court will make a finding that he is competent and able to assist his attorney in his own defense and will enter a plea of not guilty on each of the offenses that are before the court today. Mr. Alvarez, how much time do you need?
Your Honor, I would say, I don't think he has any felony cases pending. If they can give me a recommendation and I can get the discovery as soon as possible, I can talk to my client.
Okay.
2 weeks.
So
3
then
weeks.
go ahead and email the state asking for the rec. And do you have your motion for discovery on file?
I'm not sure, Judge. I need to ask my secretary, but now we'll get one today.
Judge, if I may,
Yes.
I would just like to verify, there was a reference in the offense report. Does defense counsel know if his client is homeless?
I don't know. I don't know those facts, where I can't confirm or deny whether he is homeless or not. We can ask our client. I mean, he's there. You have him under oath and see where he lives, if he has an address.
Okay, Mr. Valderas, do you have an address or somewhere to go when you, if and when you are released? Ms. Castañeda, will you ask him?
Mr. Valderas, ¿cuándo y si va a salir? ¿Tiene usted a dónde ir? ¿Tiene residencia?
No.
No.
Okay,
He's homeless, Judge.
yeah,
Just so that we can take it under advisement regarding the recommendation, Judge.
okay.
Okay.
So why don't we come back on, do you think September 30th? That's 2 weeks. Is that enough?
That's fine,
time?
Judge.
Okay, September 30th at 1:30 on both cases. Okay,
Yes, Your Honor.
okay, then you and your client are excused.
I do have another matter, Judge, but after the court's done with the arraignments, I have one more case on your docket.
Okay. Okay, moving on with the pleas then. Do each of you understand that if the punishment that I assess does not exceed what's recommended by the state, you will need this court's permission if you decide to file an appeal? Ms. Castañeda, will you please translate that for Ms. Betancourt?
Sí. ¿Entiende usted que si el castigo que voy a evaluar, si el castigo no excede la recomendación del Estado, usted va a necesitar el permiso de esta corte si usted decide presentar una apelación? ¿Entiende usted eso?
Sí,
Ms. Betancourt, yes or no?
sí.
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Gutierrez, yes or no? Ms. Castañeda?
Ms. Gutierrez, ¿sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. And moving on to the English-speaking defendants, Mr. Blanco, yes or no? Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Kraft, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Gonzalez,
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Guerra,
Yes.
okay. Then do you further understand that the court does not have to accept the recommendation of the state? Ms. Castañeda?
Y también entienden que la corte no tiene que aceptar la recomendación del Estado.
Yes or no, Ms. Betancourt?
Ms. Betancourt, ¿sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
Yes or no, Ms. Laura Gutierrez?
Ms. Gutierrez, ¿sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
Yes or no, Ms. Kraft?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Guerra?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Blanco?
Yes.
Okay. At this time, I do need to ask each of you if you are a U.S. citizen. Ms. Betancourt, are you a U.S. citizen, yes or no?
Ms.
Sí.
Ms. Betancourt, necesita que esperar hasta que ya traduzcan, si no, le voy a cambiar a inglés, okay? So, Ms. Betancourt, are you a U.S. citizen, yes or no? Ms. Castañeda?
Ms. Betancourt, ¿es usted ciudadana americana?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Blanco, yes or no?
Yes.
Ms. Kraft,
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Gonzalez,
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Guerra,
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Gutierrez, sí, yes or no?
Ms. Gutierrez, sí o no?
No.
No.
Okay. Ms. Gutierrez, if you're not a U.S. citizen, then entering a plea or no contest will result in your deportation, exclusion, or admission from our country and denial of naturalization under U.S. federal law. Ms. Castañeda?
Ms. Gutiérrez, si usted no es ciudadana americana, entonces esta petición puede resultar en su deportación, expulsión de este país y negación de la naturalización.
Do you understand the consequences of your plea?
¿Entiende usted las consecuencias de su petición?
Sí.
Yes.
And knowing and understanding the consequences of your plea, do you still wish to move forward today?
Y sabiendo las consecuencias, ¿quiere usted proceder a hoy?
Pues yo estuve en migración encerrada por lo de este caso.
Your Honor, I would have to clarify, but it's my understanding that she had an immigration attorney because she was detained because of this case and a motion to revoke. She was released by immigration. It's my understanding she could proceed, but I know she did have an immigration attorney whom she consulted with when she was released from immigration because of these cases.
Okay, I just need to know from her if she's gonna proceed. I have to give her the admonishment and then just ask her if she's going to proceed today. So Ms. Castaneda, just tell her that, ask her, understanding, is she still wanting to move forward today?
Ok, pero entendiendo esto, como quiere proceder hoy.
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. So in CR 20-01934-I, the state of Texas versus Maria Victoria Betancourt to the offense of theft of property of greater than $750, but less than $2,500, a class A misdemeanor. How do you plead, ma'am? Guilty or not guilty? Ms. Castañeda?
Ms. Betancourt, en su caso de robo de propiedad de mayor de 750 y menor de 2,500, ¿cómo se declara? ¿Culpable o no culpable? Ms. Betancourt.
No, no soy culpable.
I'm not guilty.
Okay, then Mr. Munoz, do you want an opportunity to speak with her?
Judge, if we can get a reset on this case, that way Mr. Gonzalez could handle it. I know that he had something come up last minute, so he asked me to stand in, Judge. But I think it'll be better if they talk it over.
Okay. Just let him know that his client is wanting to enter a plea of not guilty and won't admit to the guilt. So until he clarifies that with her, we wouldn't be able to move forward.
Yes, Judge, I will.
I'll go ahead and just, as all his plea paperwork is ready, we'll just reset him for 2 weeks to September 30th at 1:30.
Yes, Judge. I'll let him
Okay,
know.
Ms. Castañeda, let her know that she's going to have to get in contact with her attorney, and she'll return on September 30th at 1:30 and she can be excused.
Ms. Betancourt, por favor se comunica con su abogado y su próxima corte es el día 30 de septiembre a la 1:30 de la tarde. Se puede retirar.
Gracias.
Thank you.
NCR 21-02083-I, the state of Texas versus Deanna Gail Croft to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a class B misdemeanor. Ma'am, how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Your Honor.
NCR 21-00922-I, the state of Texas versus Christian Gonzalez to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a class B misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Judge.
To the offense, in CR 20-03635-I, and also in CR 21-05667-I, the state of Texas versus Dylan Edward Guerra, to the offense of driving while intoxicated with a blood alcohol level of 0.15, a Class A misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Your Honor.
And a secondary offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor, sir. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
As well, guilty, Your Honor.
NCR 19-11251-I, the state of Texas versus Laura Gutierrez, to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a second, a Class A misdemeanor. How do you plead now? Guilty or not guilty? Ms. Castañeda?
Laura Gutiérrez en la ofensa de manejar en estado de ebriedad segunda, ¿cómo se declara culpable o no culpable?
Culpable.
Guilty.
NCR 20-06773-I, the state of Texas versus Diego Alberto Blanco, to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Okay. Now, are each of you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? Yes or no, Ms. Kraft?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Guerra?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Blanco?
Yes.
And Ms. Castañeda, please translate for Ms. Gutierrez.
Ms. Gutiérrez, ¿está usted declarando culpable libre y voluntariamente?
Sí.
Yes.
The court will accept your pleas as being freely and voluntarily given. So now I'm going to call for state's evidence. Okay, so you need to listen. So at this time, now that we're going to be calling for state's evidence, we're moving into the sentencing phase, which means that I'll take each one of you, and we're going to give the state an opportunity to give what is the recommendation that you have entered into in the plea, and then your attorney will have an opportunity to ask questions or make any requests on your behalf. Once we finish with you, you will be excused. You can remove yourself from the proceedings. So now I'm going to ask for state's evidence at this time. Ms. Guareña?
Judge, before we go into the evidence, just for the paperwork on Dylan Guerra, the check mark under the trial court certification, notification of defendant's right of appeal was not marked. Could defense counsel just indicate for the record which option they would like selected?
And it's a waiver of appeal. There's no appeal. I apologize for that.
Just that's fine. I just wanted to clarify for the record. So the defendant has waived the right of appeal.
Correct.
Thank you, Judge. We're ready to proceed.
Okay, go ahead.
State offers plea documents and offense report to State Exhibit 1, notification, certification of defendant's right of appeal as State Exhibit 2, waiver of Article 39.14 disclosures as State Exhibit 3, and waiver of risk and needs assessments as State Exhibit 4. State would request that defense counsel stipulate to the venue and jurisdiction of this honorable court. State would also request that defense counsel stipulate to the fact that all evidence that has been e-filed is sufficient evidence to corroborate the plea of guilty.
Okay. Any objections, Mr. Gonzalez?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Munoz?
No objection, Judge.
Mr. Ramos?
No objections.
Mr. Morales?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Jaramillo?
No objections, Your Honor.
Okay. There being no objections from defense counsel as to the exhibits are hereby admitted and approved. Okay. Then in CR 21-02083-I, the state of Texas versus Deanna Gail Kraft, it is the judgment of the court that you are guilty as charged. What is the state's recommendation?
State recommends a $300 fine plus court costs, 1 year deferred adjudication, the alcohol course, the interlock device, 90 days Texas driver's license suspension, and 10 hours of community service.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
Just a few, Your Honor. Number one, Ms. Kraft does not live here in the Valley, so I'd ask if she, number one, could reside outside of the county and possibly report by phone or by mail. I would also ask, Your Honor, if the court would consider giving her some time to pay any fines and court costs that have been assessed.
Okay, Ms. Kraft, are you currently employed full-time? Ms. Kraft, are you currently employed full-time? Mr. Gonzalez, do you know if your client is employed full-time?
No, Your Honor. She to give you some history on Ms. Kraft, she fled the valley because she was in an extremely abusive relationship, Your Honor. She had been in and out of the hospital with multiple serious injuries. She was finally able to leave. I believe she's residing in Kentucky right now, Judge. She just got there probably less than 2 months ago. So that's very unlikely that she has a job right now, Judge. But she did flee based on some severe violence that was taking place in her life down here.
Okay. So the court will give Ms. Kraft 90 days to pay the fine, 90 days to pay the court costs. Her Texas driver's license suspension will run concurrent with any pending suspension, if any. She will be allowed to reside outside of the county, and for so long as it is available through the probation department, she can either report by phone or by mail. I do need a phone number for her, Mr. Gonzalez.
Yes, let me see if I can find that very quickly.
The rest of the recommendation I will follow.
There's a number that I have. It is a 956-510-0611.
Okay, that's not the number she's calling from.
That's
She's
the last.
calling from a number that's with the last digits of 602. Ms.
It may be
Kraft,
that. It may be
can
that
you
number.
hear
Your
us
Honor.
now? Ms. Kraft, can you hear us now? Okay. If you do get in touch with her, can you please make sure that she contacts Ms. Soto?
I'll have her do that immediately, Judge. I'll get on the phone with her as soon as I get off of here.
Okay. All right. Well then, anything else from the state or the defense?
Your Honor,
Nothing for defense.
Yes.
for the court's clarification, Judge, was the CSR waived or?
No, she's not working, so it's not waived.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. With nothing else, then you may be excused, Mr. Gonzalez, and I think we just lost connection with her.
Okay, I'll make sure and call her right now, Judge, to get in touch with the probation office.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge. You have a good one.
You too. NCR 21-00922-I in the state of Texas versus Christian Gonzalez. It is a judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged. And what is the state's recommendation?
State recommends a $300 fine plus court costs, 180 days Hidalgo County Jail, probated over 1 year. The alcohol course, the drug education course, the interlock device, 90 days Texas driver's license suspension, 20 hours of community service, and open restitution. The companion case, CR 20-06193-I, will be dismissed with the aforementioned plea.
Okay, you said interlock device, 90-day Texas driver's suspension, and what else?
20 hours of community service and open restitution.
Okay. Mr. Munoz, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
Yes, Judge, we would like to ask the court for consideration on the driver's license suspension, if it can run concurrent with the administrative suspension, Judge.
Okay, that'll be granted.
Also, Judge, the community service hours, Mr. Gonzalez does go to school and he also works, Judge.
That'll be waived.
Judge, also, the court would be willing to consider waiving condition number 7. I believe he travels outside of the county for his job.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez, does your job currently require you to travel outside of Hidalgo County?
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna probably start a job on Monday in Corpus Christi as a welder.
Okay, condition number 7 will be waived.
Judge, and our last request, if Mr. Gonzalez can have some time to pay the fine, Judge.
That'll be 90 days to pay the fine and 90 days to pay the court costs.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Okay, and the rest of the recommendation I will follow.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, you can. Mr. Gonzalez, what is your phone number?
Sorry,
it's
Judge,
nine-
if we could get the restitution hearing date, I apologize.
Okay, oh, that's right. Miss Rivera, what would the restitution date be?
Yes, Judge, the restitution date would be the 7th of October at 1:30.
Judge, I believe this was a single vehicle accident, Judge. I believe he fell into a ditch. I don't know if there's going to be any restitution.
It was, he had hit a street sign, so we just want to verify with the text dot to make sure that there's no restitution owed.
Okay, what is your phone number, Mr. Gonzalez?
956-212-9632.
Okay. Okay, sir, best of luck to you. The probation department will contact you as soon as, at her earliest convenience, okay?
All right.
Okay,
Thank you, ma'am.
you're welcome. CR 20-03635-I, the state of Texas versus Dylan Edward Guerra. It is the judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged, as well in CR 21-05667-I. For the driving while intoxicated Class B misdemeanor, it is the judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged. What is the state's recommendation?
Regarding CR 20-03635-I, the state recommends a $350 fine plus court costs, 1 year Hidalgo County Jail, probated over 18 months, the alcohol course, drug education course, the interlock device, 90 days Texas driver's license suspension, and for the defendant to participate in the MAD impact panel. On CR 21-05667-I, state recommends a $350 fine plus court costs, 180 days Hidalgo County Jail, probated over 18 months, the alcohol course, the interlock device, 90 days Texas driver's license suspension for the defendant to participate in the MAD impact panel. The companion case CR 21-05665-I will be dismissed with the aforementioned pleas.
Okay, any questions or requests on behalf of your client, Mr. Ramos?
That is the agreement, Your Honor, only that obviously there was some repeats in the courses that were required in some of the requirements, just that these run concurrent as well as the conditions.
Okay. Both those sentences will run concurrent. The 90 days Texas driver's license suspension will also run concurrent with any administrative suspension that is pending or in process. And there'll be one probation fee and one court cost and one fine.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And the rest of the recommendation I will follow. He'll have 90 days to pay the fine and 90 days to pay the court costs.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, anything else?
That's all we have, maybe excuse.
Okay, Mr. Guerra, what is your phone number?
956-648-3531.
Okay. Those interlock devices, I failed to mention it to the other Mr. Gonzalez, but I will tell you, those are required to be put on 48 business hours from the hearing date. So I see that you're working. Are you out of town? Are you working out of town?
No, I'm here actually in Hidalgo.
Okay. So you need to make some time to get that interlock device put in, okay? If you don't already have one.
I already have it, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Soto, who does he have it with?
He has his interlock device with Lifesaver, Judge.
Okay,
There's
any
no violations.
violations?
No, Judge.
0 violations. Okay, Mr. Guerra, good job.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So-
May I be?
Yes, you may, sir, and good luck to you, okay?
Thank you. You have a nice day.
You too, sir. Thank you. Okay, and CR 20-06773-I, the state of Texas versus Diego Alberto Blanco. It is a judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged. And what is the state's recommendation?
State recommends a $300 fine plus court costs, 1 year deferred adjudication, the alcohol course, the interlock device, 90 days Texas driver's license suspension, and 20 hours of community service.
Okay, Mr. Jaramillo, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Blanco works out of the county full-time. So we'd like to request that condition 7 be waived, that the CS hours be waived, and that he be able to report by mail.
Okay, Condition 7 will be waived and the CSR hours will be waived, so those two requests will be granted. He can report by mail or by phone for so long as it is available by the probation department and only while he's working out of town. If he is in town, then he is to report in person.
Your Honor, we'd also like to request that the interlock device be removed. He's had it since the beginning of this Class B misdemeanor.
Okay, the interlock device will stay on as part of his condition, the condition of his probation. However, I will consider for it to be reduced to 6 months.
And finally, Your Honor, we also like to request that the driver's license suspension run concurrently with the administrative suspension.
That'll be granted.
Thank you, Your Honor, that's all.
And Judge, if I may, in reviewing the plea paperwork, it was overlooked to include the 90 days Texas driver's license suspension. So just to clarify for the record, it's not included, but the state's requesting it and the court is having that run concurrently.
Yes, that'll be the order of the court, and he will further have 90 days to pay the fine and 90 days to pay the court costs. Anything else, Mr. Aramillo?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Blanco, a phone number, please.
956-460-4426.
956, go ahead.
460-4426.
Okay, one moment. What has to be in the judgment?
Your Honor, it's to my knowledge, Judge, the driver's license suspension must be included in the judgment in order for the state of Texas to recognize that it runs concurrent or that it's suspended.
Okay, well, it will be in the judgment. Haven't we been including it?
I believe that that's what Ms. Gabby is announcing, Judge, that it was
Well,
overlooked.
it was avoided from the plea paperwork, but I just made a ruling that it was the order of the court, that it would be the 90 days Texas driver's license suspension, and that it will run concurrent with any administrative suspension. But I believe you understood, Mr. Moreno, when you signed up your client, that it would be included. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so then there's no objection from the defense.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, then we'll make sure to add it in there, Ms. Moreno, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Anything else on Mr. Blanco?
No, Your Honor, may I be excused?
Yes, you and your client may be excused.
Thank you, Judge. Nice to meet you, Judge.
Likewise, best of luck to you.
Thank you, Judge. Likewise.
Okay, so on Ms. Gutierrez, Ms. Castaneda, I will need for you to translate. In CR 1911251-I, the state of Texas versus Laura Gutierrez, it is the judgment of the court that you're guilty as charged. What's the state's recommendation? Ms. Castaneda, please translate.
Ms. Gutiérrez, la corte la está declarando la sentencia de la corte que es culpable de los cargos, que es la recomendación del Estado.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Guareña, what's the recommendation?
State recommends a $200 fine plus court costs, 180 days Hidalgo County Jail, probated over 6 months, the repeat offender program, the mobile alcohol monitoring device, and 180 days Texas driver's license suspension.
Okay, Mr. Morales, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, my client works around the state, Your Honor. She does primarily refinery work. We're asking that the condition 7 be waived and she be allowed to leave Hidalgo County if she can show proof of employment. Further, Your Honor, I believe when I spoke to the mobile alcohol monitoring device, we just want to make sure that they have some flexibility in case she's working a night shift because she cannot take the machine into her place of employment since she is working in a refinery. So I think they worked with her last time and they got permission last time to kind of adjust it just so it could be an hour before she gets into work, an hour before she gets out, and then before she goes to bed. But they were able to work with her based on her schedule. And we're asking whether the court would approve that as well.
Okay, if it's for her job, she has to turn in a proof of work schedule and Ms. Soto will adjust the times. Ms. Castaneda, please let Ms. Gutierrez know that she has to submit her work schedule to Ms. Soto so they can work with her on what time she can report.
Ms. Gutiérrez tiene que proveerle a la Departamento de Probation su horario de trabajo.
Okay.
Okay.
What else, Mr. Morales?
Your Honor, and then if she can just, I think, again, she had been reporting for about a couple of years while we were trying to get the other case worked out. She was already on the reduced risk program. We're just asking if she can be allowed to report by mail if she is working out of the county, Your Honor. I know you made that statement before with other individuals. If they're in county, you would like them to report in person if possible. I'm not sure what the rules are right now because of COVID.
Okay, if she's working out of town, as long as the probation department is still doing it, they can report by phone or by mail. But if she's working in town, she is to report in person. Ms. Castaneda, can you let her know?
Ms. Gutiérrez, si está usted trabajando afuera del condado, puede reportar por teléfono o por correo, pero cuando esté en el condado tiene que reportarse en persona.
So therefore, condition 7 will be waived so that she can travel for work.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay, Ms. Castaneda, please ask for her phone number.
Ms. Gutiérrez, ¿qué es su número de teléfono?
956-225-9195.
956-225-9195.
Okay, so, and did you ask for the driver's license suspension to run concurrent with any administrative suspension?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, that'll be granted.
Thank you.
And also, the fine, she'll have 90 days to pay the fine and 90 days to pay the court costs.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, the rest of the recommendation, I will follow. Ms. Castaneda, please tell her to make sure that she contacts Ms. Soto, because we need to adjust her time, her testing windows.
Ms. Gutiérrez, por favor, se comunica con la señorita Connie Soto del Departamento de Probation porque necesitan ajustar su horario.
Okay.
Okay.
And now, Ms. Soto, you have her phone number, correct?
Yes, Judge, I do.
All right. Okay, anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. And just so we're clear, Ms. Castaneda, let her know that she has to start using that mobile alcohol monitoring device.
Ms. Gutiérrez, usted tiene que comenzar a usar su dispositivo móvil.
Sí.
Yes.
All right. Okay, anything else, Mr. Morales?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you for your response.
Okay, you both are excused. Let her know she can remove herself.
Ms. Gutiérrez se puede retirar.
Una pregunta.
I have a question.
Okay.
¿Hasta qué día me dan para poder conectar la máquina?
Until when do I have to connect the device?
She has 48 hours.
48 horas.
Okay. Está bien.
Okay.
Okay. She's excused.
Se puede
Mr.
retirar,
Alvarez.
Ms. Gutiérrez.
Mr. Alvarez, what other case were you here on? Juan Alvarez? Okay. Mr. Schreiber, were you here on matter?
Yes, Your Honor. I was here on Mr. Ramiro Ramirez Jr. I believe he's also got a DWI pending out of your court.
Okay, do you know what number that is on the court docket?
I'm afraid I don't, Your Honor.
Your Honor, what was the name? I'm sorry. Ramiro Ramirez, correct?
That's number 15?
Yes.
Okay, he was reset to September the 16th at 1:30. They needed to complete his plea paperwork.
Yes, that would probably be my plea paperwork. Thank you, Your Honor. We'll see you then.
Okay, thank you. Okay, before we move on, Mr. Alvarez, can you hear me? Okay, so Miss Martinez did not check in on Brandon Mendoza, but Mr. Mendoza was here. So I'm just gonna give him a quick reset. If we can please contact Miss Martinez and tell her she has to be present at the next hearing. And that's September 30th at 1:30.
Yes, ma'am. And the cleanup abstention will hold over?
Yes, and who knows, I don't know if she even has the paperwork ready or not. I know it's been pending.
Okay, Judge.
Okay, and number 28, 29, 30, and 31.
I don't believe I had a reset on it, Judge. Let me double check for you.
Okay.
Judge, and this is the one where we've been in contact with attorney Jose Solis. He was supposed to file a notice of appearance. I'm not sure if that's been done.
I don't think it has because it's still showing the former attorney.
Your Honor, if I may?
Yes.
He did file it, Judge, but the appropriate motion should have been a motion to substitute counsel with an order granting. That way, Mr. Nitsch could be removed. If not, the clerks will not remove him.
Okay, so are we gonna go ahead and notify him?
Yes, Judge, I'll be in contact with him. I'm not sure if we did send this link to him. It may have been our mistake, Judge, but if anything, I'll be in contact with him and I'll set him up for the 30th of September.
Okay, is he gonna, but we don't have plea paperwork on it yet, right?
That's correct, Your Honor, we do not.
Okay, just give him some time if he's just barely gonna sub in. We'll do it October 5th. But I'm not gonna do it, I know that he was gonna do a plea, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and change it into
a status?
Yes, but if I'm gonna do a status, we'll go ahead and go with October 19th at 9:30.
Yes, ma'am.
And then that'll give him time to file what he needs to, and then because it doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to plea him out just because that was the plan with the former attorney. Okay, and I don't know, Mr. Alvarez, you're on Alejandro Gonzalez?
Yes, Your Honor. He has a felony case pending out of the 139th, Judge.
Okay. And when do you have a setting on that yet?
We do, Judge. Hold on. Let me ask my computer, Mona. It's true.
Well, you're lucky she's back from
Alejandro Gonzalez.
vacation.
When is it set for?
Give me 1 second. September 14th, which was today. Hold on, July 26th. I think he was scheduled in December. Hold on.
Your Honor, I don't see any future settings for his felony. His felony is a CR 472319C, but this case does seem like it's disposed of. Give me 1 second.
Yes, Judge, I'm seeing the same.
Yes, Judge, in July, he was sentenced to 2 years TDC. July of this year, Your Honor.
So he was already sentenced on the felony?
Yes, Judge.
Yeah, he is. Motion to adjudicate.
Yeah, he was sentenced, Judge, but looks like in
July.
July. So I don't know what the state wants to do with this one then.
So he is in TDC. Okay.
Do you want a chance to look at it, Gabby?
Yes, Judge, if we can, so I can just staff him to see how we can dispose of the misdemeanor cases since he's already in TDC.
Okay, how much time do you like?
2 weeks, Judge, if possible.
Okay, do you want to keep it on this or you want to change it to the morning, the status?
Whatever the court prefers, Judge.
Okay, we'll go ahead since he's not gonna be entering a plea in this. We'll go ahead and change him to status. We'll do September the 30th at 9:30. Will you have something by then?
Yes.
Okay. September
If they
30th.
can give me a rec, I could go see him, Judge, in jail or set him up ASAP before they take him.
Okay. I don't know. She's gonna staff it.
Judge, I don't believe he's here.
Yeah.
It doesn't show that he's here in Hidalgo County, Your Honor, or booked under our system. He was
might be.
released.
Okay, well, let Ms. Guadena staff it and see what they tell her, and then she'll get with you.
Okay, Judge.
For now, we'll just do September 30th at 9:30.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay, I believe that concludes this afternoon's docket, unless I missed something.
No, Your Honor, for the criminal docket, we also just have the family matter